examples where we utilize the trig functions of nice angles and these special angles and just practice with their values and what the notation means. Here I've written up the trig functions of the special angles where the special angles are in degrees. So we'll start with that. When it says to find the exact value of sine 30 degrees cosine 45 degrees plus tangent squared 60 degrees, first, this notation of tucking the square between the trig function abbreviation and the angle really represents that whatever the tangent of 60 degrees is going to be squared. So look at the sine of 30 degrees. Well, the sine of 30 degrees is a half, so we replace the sine of 30 degrees with the fraction 1/2. And it's going to be multiplied to the cosine of 45 degrees. Cosine of 45 degrees is the square root of 2 over 2. And then add to that the tangent of 60 degrees quantity squared. Well, the tangent of 60 degrees is the square root of 3, and that gets squared. So when I look at doing my order of operations, I want exponents before multiplication, then multiplication or division as it occurs from left to right before addition and subtraction. So the square root of 3 squared is 3. And when I look at 1/2 times the square root of 2 over 2, that's 1 times the square root of 2 is square root of 2 over 2 times 2 is 4. So I have the square root of 2 over 4 plus 3. And then if I want to get common denominators and add these together, you're going to put 3 over 1, build top and bottom by 4. So I get 12/4. Square root of 2 over 4 plus 12/4 is the square root of 2 plus 12 all over 4. Now the last two have radian measure for the angles. And with the radian measure for the angles, you want to look at what the relationship is between going from radians to degrees, degrees to radians. So this is 2 times, well, the cosine of pi over 3. Think pi over 3, if I change that to degrees, pi over 3 would be 60 degrees. So this is the same as the cosine of 60 degrees, and the cosine of 60 degrees is a half. The sine of pi over 3, well, pi over 3 changed to degrees is 60 degrees, and the sine of 60 degrees is the square root of 3 over 2. Now multiplying these as they occur from left to right, 2 times 1/2 is 1, and 1 times the square root of 3 over 2 is the square root of 3 over 2. Lastly, I have cosine squared pi over 4 minus sine of pi over 3. So remember, that's the cosine of pi over 4 squared minus the sine of pi over 3. Pi over 4 is 45 degrees. The cosine of 45 degrees is the square root of 2 over 2. So that's the square root of 2 over 2 squared minus the sine of pi over 3. Pi over 3 is 60 degrees. So sine of 60 degrees is the square root of 3 over 2. So I have 2/4 minus the square root of 3 over 2. Well, 2/4 is 1/2. So 1/2 minus the square root of 3 over 2 is going to give me 1 minus the square root of 3 all over 2. And I want to leave them like that in their exact form.